All right, I'm going to walk through how to set up Obsidian using Quartz to publish your notes to a public website. The first thing you need to do is set up a repo in GitHub. I'm going to call mine DFT Quartz. I'm going to make it public. And once you have this, don't close that screen because it will give you your repo URL. I'm using SSH, so I've already kind of set that up. You may not be, you may only be using HTTPS. All right, so now I'm going to open up a terminal and I'm going to type change directory and I'll drag in the folder wherever that script is located. And you can see we've got that Quartz setup. So to run that script, at least in a Mac or on my Mac, I'm going to run sh Quartz setup. It's going to ask me for that repo URL. Again, I want to copy and paste that. It's going to ask you for your Obsidian Vault's public folder. And if you haven't done this, it needs a public directory that will differentiate it from your private notes. So if you haven't made one, make one, make sure it's called public and that is capitals. So I'm just going to drag that in. And this is the folder that contains all your notes. Then it's going to ask where you want to put your web page files. And so for me, I'll just make a new folder and I'll drag that in there. It doesn't matter which way I answer this if I'm starting from scratch. And now it's going to clone down that Quartz repo and make some modifications to it. It's going to ask us a few questions here. We just want to choose empty Quartz. And unless you've made changes to how Obsidian treats links, you're just going to choose that first option there. So all the default options. It's going to create a little deploy script inside our site directory. And now here in GitHub, if we refresh this, we see that we've got all our files here. The next thing we need to do is go into GitHub settings. And then under pages, you want to switch from deploy from a branch to GitHub actions. And once you've done that, let's go back to the terminal and we'll change into that site directory. Now note that it created a subfolder called Quartz. That's actually where all the files live. So I will change into that. If we type ls here, we can just make sure that we're in the right folder. We should see all this stuff. Main things you're really looking for is that there's this quartz.config.ts. And there should also be a deploy_main.sh script. That's going to be what we run every time we want to deploy all this stuff to GitHub. So I will run sh deploy main.sh. It will write that to GitHub. And there we see GitHub picks up the change and it's going to do another deploy. Now I see that that has gone through successfully. It gets this green check mark here. And it gives me my URL of my site, which is just your GitHub username .github.io and then the folder repo name. And if I go into that particular note called welcome, I've got the current content of that markdown file.